Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us for our Little Italy of Los Angeles podcast. And we're joined by Andrea Iervolino, founder of a film company and a tech company. That company is called Tattoo. And currently, you're working on a film with Morgan Freeman. You've done an awful lot. You've worked with John Travolta, Selena Gomez, and you grew up in Italy. That's where you got your start. So thank you so much for joining us, Andrea.
Thank you, Deborah, to invite me. For me, it's a pleasure, and congratulations for your amazing show. For me, it's really a pleasure.
Oh, that's an honor. Thank you so much coming from you. What really inspired me and so many people who've been reading about you is your start at a very, very young age in Italy, where you were literally going door to door as a kid, trying to raise money, right, for a film. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, you know, this is maybe for someone sounds funny, which sounds funny for me too. But when I was young, I had a big speech problem. I had a big stutter, and I also came from in a small province, in a small town in Italy, and also I come from a very poor family, So when you are young, you have a big stutter. You cannot find friends because friends basically bully you so much. So I had two best friends, which also they were different, and because one had another speech problem, which in Italy we call la R moscia, and so he cannot pronounce the letter R, and his name was Rinaldo, and another guy, his name was Benedetto, which was tall, 1.5 meters. It was like 150 kilos, which is like 295 pounds. So we were the three different guys in town, and I like to speak about them also because we were the one which basically started together everything, and we were selling at the age of 13. When I was 13, they were already 18. We were selling website. So our first business actually was selling website. Now it sounds stupid to sell a website, but at that time, a website was something very futuristic, because a website was the new big thing. So many companies, they didn't have a website in Italy, and not many, the majority of them. So our first business was to sell website because Benedetto, he was expert in doing a website, was one of the first doing that. So we started sell website with a company called We Are the Future. So we were three weird guys in a very small town with a company called We Are the Future selling website. This was our first basically first business. Then at the age of 15, 2 years later, we sold a lot of websites. So that business was going well, but we were very young. I was the youngest one, but we were young, all of us, because Benedetto was already 18 something, and Rinaldo too, and I was 13. But then 2 years later, because of some family issue or something, I decided to basically run away from my city. So I went in north of Italy, and for 6 months I was doing a job for a company, which in reality they hired me because I had to speak with people. I had to be like the guy who speak with people when people are in this touristic village. But then they realized I'm not able to do that. They put me in the production of the show because I had a very big speech problem. But when I did the video interview, in the video spoke perfectly, because when you have a stutter, when you are in a video you speak very well, but then when you are in private you don't. Now I don't have almost a stutter anymore. I have just little, but that time was a very big problem for me. So
wow.
Basically, right there, they realized I cannot speak, and they put me in the backstage of the live show which they were doing in this touristic area, which is nearby Venezia. And basically there I learned how to produce a live show. So like a live show like the one they do basically Broadway. They were smaller, but I learned something. So I learned that exists a script, that I learned that exists the actor, the director, the makeup artist, the DOP, you know, all these people which you find also in a movie. So I learned that, and 6 months after I came back in my hometown, the same hometown where it was my two friends, where I was born, and I said to my two friends, now we don't do website anymore. Now we do movie. So Benedetto
I love that.
was totally against me. Said, "Oh, we will never make it happen." Rinaldo was very excited. I said, "Oh, movie producer." So in the end, I convinced them, and then what we did, we find someone in our hometown which can basically can basically help us to write a script, and then we start find people in the street, stopping people in the street, say, you know, you can be the gladiator in your movie. Say, but I'm a plumber. No, but you have the face of the gladiator. So we find that basically actor in the street. And so it was very independent, very non-professional, because in my hometown where I was born, there is no one who does movie or cinema. So or the cameraman of our first movie was the cameraman of the wedding, the guy who does wedding in town. So we went to the same store, basically, which we sold the website when I was 13, so 2 years before, say, we are now doing a fundraising to finance our first movie. So
wow.
basically start collect this from this little store in my hometown, from the pizzeria, the gelateria, the pasticceria, the dentist. So small investment, no? To guys say I invented the crowdfunding old-fashioned, door by door, no? So and in this way we financed the first movie, but that movie was not an amazing movie. But we invented a new way to do the distribution of movie in my country, which was called Cine School Day. So, which was a distribution organization focused on doing distribution for movie in the cinema in the morning for student. So, or basically our client, they were students, which they basically come to the cinema in the morning with the school, and they watch the movie, and they speak about the educational motivation why they're there, and they go back on the backstage, so on the stage, they say, okay, we are here because this movie is against drugs, and you know, they speak about that. Then they go back at school and they do homework, and then the best student in that topic for that homework can become something in the movie number 2. So this became a very important and large organization. We were able then to produce many movies for this new production and distribution system. And the real motivation why we became so strong was because actually we did only movie in digital in an era where no one was doing movie in digital. Everyone was doing movie only in films. And in fact, in my country, in Italy, to do a distribution in the cinema at that time, you need to have the film. So you need to convert the movie in film. So because we were the first one to start moving in digital, at the age of 18, I became business partner with one of the number one person in my country on our business. His name was Luciano Martino, and this guy. So this guy, he was 17 when we met. I was 18, and we became business partner to develop together a digital company for basically shoot moving digital. At that time, when I was meeting a movie director, and I was telling you, okay, we will do this movie in digital, they will tell me, what did you say? I say, we will do a movie with a digital camera. What did you say? I say, we will do a movie with a. I say, go out from my office. Because for them it was such a bad thing. So to the idea of shooting a movie in digital at the time was a very bad thing. For them was no quality. Now I don't know no one who does not do movie in digital. But at that time was a really, you know, at least in my country at that time was still, you can say that. Right? So we built that business together. And then at the age of 23, I say, you know, Italy is not big enough for me to achieve my dream. And then because my mom, she's from Canada, I started investing in North America from Canada. and then I opened my first office in Los Angeles, and with my business partner today, which her name is Lady Monica Bacardi. We own together this company called Dambi in Los Angeles. We own together this other company called Ilbe in Italy, which is publicly listed in the Milano Stock Exchange, and is the largest independent production company in the country on market cap. And
Wow.
And on top of that, I also think so. One of my main mission in life is how I can. One of my main mission in life is to find new things which never was done before, or they were done in a different way. So I like to do things which in some way I put a big effort, but things which can change the perspective of things for people in some part of the activity of life or entertainment or whatever. So one other company which I founded in 2018 is called Tata 2, and what I'm doing with this company, I'm trying to build the first sharing economy of data. At least I call that in that way. So why I say that? Because we invented basically an app and that technology which give people the possibility to earn because of their social media activity or the time which they spend in internet or for any activity which they do connected with their own data. Because I believe that the business model which we see now in social media is the same one from 2004, exactly the same one. 100% of the revenue of a social media, they stay with the company. Then YouTube starts share some revenue with the content creator. Now some social media is doing that, but no one is rewarding the viewer. So in my point of view, because the social media user, the viewer, is also creating value, because if you post anything in a social media and there is not a viewer on top of the content producer and the platform, there is no value, because any internet platform, they sell view, they sell advertising view, they sell impressions. It's called CPM, you know. So but the CPM is created also with the viewer. So basically, what we do, we reward user when they get a like, when they get a view, when they get a follow, when they watch a content, whatever they were doing before just for free to entertain themselves, now they earn with us. Now, in what way they earn? We cannot pay them in cash because on the administration point of view would be impossible. We pay them in token, TTU coin, which is not a cryptocurrency, but is a private point system, which you can spend then this coin in our system like it's cash. You can buy a scooter, you can buy a purse, you can buy whatever we offer. So this is another my baby company. So a company which I'm building now is going very well. And
wait, can I ask a question? I don't think I've ever done an interview where I've let my person talk for so long, because you were so great just explaining your entire life and businesses. I thought, this is great. But I do have a question about Tata 2. So I am going on, let's say, your social media page, right? How am I going to get paid if I go look at something that you posted? How does that work?
So it works, it's easy. So Tata 2 offer you basically a social media experience like any other social media, and also offer you movies and video content which you can watch. Now, if you go to watch a movie, let's say we have now this interview in Tata 2, and someone is watching that or interview, they are earning. So they earn per second. Per each second of viewing they do, they earn. So now, let's say you have your own profile in Tata 2 as your social media profile in Tata 2, and you post a photo. When someone view your photo, watch your photo, or like your photo, you get paid. So one other functionality which we have in Tata 2 is phone call and video call. When two Tata 2 users, they phone call and video call each other in Tata 2, they also earn, because nothing is free. In reality, nothing is free. Any chat which you use to chat and to phone call is not free. Any social media is not free. We pay them with our data. We pay them with our time. We work for free for social media. So I think it's not fair. What I think is fair, I think, is to share. We create value together. We share.
This is brilliant, honestly. And by the way, you can post my photo up there and let's see how many clicks we get. And
Okay, for sure a
for
lot.
other
Sure.
that would, oh, thank you. That would be
Yeah.
fantastic. This is so brilliant, I have to tell you. But what's amazing to me is I don't know how much schooling you had, right? Because you said you left home at 15. Entrepreneurs clearly are born because this is not the kind of stuff that you would learn in school. This is the kind of stuff that comes out of your head, right? I mean, were you always thinking one step ahead of everybody else, even as I guess you were, right? Even as a little kid in your small town in Italy, which, by the way, what is that town? What's the name of that town?
It's called Cassino.
Mm,
Is 1 hour and a half from Roma, and it's
mm.
called Cassino. It's like Casino with two S. Sometimes people think I was born in a casino. No, it's Cassino with two S. It's
But
not.
I know how it is. You were a small kid, always thinking out of the box, thinking of something to create, as you say, that hasn't been out there before. And probably a lot of people were saying, "Oh, no, it can't be done," just like with the digital film, right? But look at you now. Wow, this I have to tell you, this tattoo is extraordinary. I think it's brilliant. You're also named one of the top 10 producers on Variety's 500 list, which is pretty incredible. And now you're working on a film with Morgan Freeman, and I know that you've worked with, as we said, John Travolta, Selena Gomez, so many others. How did that come about? Because you're involved in so much. You've got this app going on. You're a
Yeah,
well-known film producer. You're award-winning, extraordinary. How did that come out? Tell me about the film.
you know the film. I think so. I do film as I say now from 19 years. I started when I was 15.
Yeah.
So for me, the film is very easy. So to put together a film and be in profit with my movie for me is easy because as you know you can do many movies only if you make money because if you make money you can do only one. So be in profit with a film company is not easy, but I learned the way to do it. So and in the end the real secret is never copy, do only things, inspire yourself from other, but do better things, so do new things. No, and when you do new things in the beginning is hard, but then
Yes.
becomes so easy because in the beginning you to convince people, these are new things, follow me. Maybe someone believe you, someone does not believe you, but when people believe you and they start follow you, you are the one who detected the new rule of new things which did not exist before, and actually your life become easier. But in general, people, what they do, they only watch others and then they do the same thing, they do just copy paste, and that is bad.
Yeah.
Because that you lose so much time. No, if I had to do something with another person does, and they are amazing at what they do, why should do the same things? I should do something different. No, and I believe that the universe and the idea is there, so it's accessible to everyone. The same idea which I can have, another person maybe can have in the same time in Japan, and we never met. No, so in the end, in the universe of idea, you just need to catch the idea which you like more, which is again available to everyone because idea is energy, and then you make things happen.
Yeah. Extraordinary. The film with Morgan Freeman currently, did we lose you or are you still there? Because you froze. Ah, we got you back.
Sorry, I
No,
don't
it's
know where you
okay.
lost me.
No, it happens. It's Zoom, right? It's like we're doing the best we can here. um, but the film with Morgan Freeman, tell us a little what that is about and where are you filming? Where's your locations?
Yeah, the Morgan Freeman movie we're shooting in Mississippi, and it's a movie called Muti. It basically speak about things which is very sad but really exist. In Africa they do this ritual. Not only in Africa, they started there, but they do a little bit everywhere where they sacrifice basically people, and this movie speak about an investigation of an FBI agent, which basically find this and resolve the case. So it's in the end a classic investigation action movie where basically the bad guy get catch, and they so but the main things of the movie, which I cannot say too much about the movie, as you can imagine, but the main concept of this movie is this ritual which they do, and
Wow.
and this is what the investigation is about. But in the movie, we don't show anything, so it's only people know we're speaking about that, but we don't show anything. So because visual is too hard, so we don't show that.
But it's extraordinary to gain the trust of such an established actor. Even though you've been doing films since you were quite young, for 20 years now, it's pretty extraordinary because, you know, that's really remarkable. Tell us what you did with John Travolta, working with him.
With John, we did, I think we did 4 movies together, or 3, I think we did. No, we did 4 movies. And each of these movies speak about different things. One was a race car movie, which was one of his passion project. And but you know, John is an amazing guy. I love to work with John because John, what he does when he does something, he really puts all his passion in. So he does not do a movie just to do a movie to get paid. No, he does a movie because he really likes what he's doing. And he is really inside of his interpretation and character. He's such an amazing professional actor. You know, I really love to work with him because when you work with him, you feel you have someone in front of you which care very much about what he's doing. And you know, and I have to say, I have the same feeling with many other actors. So the majority of the actors which I working with, from again John Travolta, Antonio Banderas, Al Pacino, Morgan Freeman, all these guys did many movies with me, not only once. You know, and the beauty of work with such a professional actor is it's not because they are only a star, but because they really are inside of what they do. So they are really inside of the character. They ask you questions, Andrea, how can I make it better? How I can do this better? So they really, and they put notes on the script. It's so beautiful, so beautiful because you feel, oh wow, I'm doing something which someone is in the same time appreciating. You know? Because in general, you are the one who brings the project, and I say let's do this together. So when they love so much what they do, which become their project, you love that, no? Because
I think that's why they choose to work with you, because you bring that same passion to everything you do. It's clear just by listening to you talk. It's actually beautiful. Now, you know what got me excited, okay? The launching of Space 11. I love what you want to do with Space 11 because I know you're going to do it. I already know you're going to do it. Just based on your track record. Tell people what that is and what you hope to accomplish.
What we're doing with Space 11 is very simple, actually. So I believe that in the next, let's say 10, 12 years, based on what the astronaut who work with us is telling me. So in the next 10, 12 years, the cost of space transportation should go much down in respect of now. Now you can take a ticket to go in space for $450,000. But I believe that price will become so much lower. No? So I believe in the next 12 years that 7%, because as you know, in the world, only 7% of the population take actually a flight. They ever fly, only 7%. Okay, so
well, I didn't realize that. Wow.
Yes, I believe part of that 7% will be also a space travel. So they will not only go from Japan to Los Angeles or to Roma, etc., but they will go also to do a vacation in space. Now, when you go in space, what do? You watch a beautiful view, but what do? You have to do something, no? So basically, my main objective is to basically build format of entertainment at zero gravity, and the main things which we are working to do, we are working to build an international space station, basically dedicated for the entertainment, and basically with that, but we don't do so we only do the entertainment part in the construction of the station. We don't do so we are not a company which build rockets and drop it above. No, that is not our job. We work with company that does that to make agreement to stop to basically construction, but we don't do that job. So this is the main things which we are working on. Now, attached to that, we are building entertainment format at 0G. The first one is called MMA 0G. So, as you know, what is the MMA, like UFC? We don't have anything to do with UFC, but a hired guy, his name is John Lewis. And what we did, basically, we are building this new sport liga, which is basically where these fighters, they fight with an MMA technique, but at 0G. So they do X fight in a parabolic flight, which is the one which the astronaut used to create the 0G in the Earth. And then we do the last fight basically in a capsule which we put in a rocket. So this is what we do. We send them in space. So this is a real piece of entertainment in connection with the 0G. So this is what we're doing with Space 11. And the first format is in production now, and which again is called MMA 0G. We have also a reality show with that called Galactic Combat.
Wow. So you're going to be shooting in space. We're going to be consuming entertainment in space. So essentially, we're going to get on a rocket and be able to watch a movie up there. It's actually quite extraordinary.
This is what I believe.
A lot more to it. Go ahead.
So, no, I was saying this is what I believe will happen. The fact that you can go in space and watch an entertainment event in space, I believe this is what will be possible to do in the next 10, 12 years. So we are working for that. So that is a long-term thing. But the fact that today we can create format in 0G is we are already doing that now. So that is the easy part. The most visionary part which we are working on is this second part. You'll be able to take a rocket, go in space, stop there, be in 0G in this stadium of entertainment, entertain yourself with the event and the activity we do, and come back.
Gosh, don't you wish we could be around another few hundred years or 1,000 years? Sometimes I look back to people who were alive maybe 500 years ago or 1,000 or whatever. And if they were to suddenly be alive now and they would think, gosh, I could fly to there. I mean, it's exciting to think about what the future holds, right? Hundreds of years from now, honestly, because of people like you who are thinking so far ahead about what's possible and what can absolutely happen. I think this is extraordinary. Wow. What else do you have in your toolbox, Andrea? Because that's incredible for a man who's 35 years old. You've done an awful lot in your life.
No, this is my project. I don't have anything other now, which I'm doing. So this is my movie company, my tech company, and my space company. This is my three baby.
I want to circle back a little bit to your family, because I know growing up, you had a bit of a tough time. You don't need to get into a lot of it as a kid. And you said yourself that you left home. You needed to get away. But now it's all come full circle, right? I believe that your family now works for you and your companies, correct?
Yeah. I have an amazing relationship with my father, my mother, and my whole family. My father works in my company. My mother indirectly works for me for another business activity. And I have an amazing family. The only thing is when I was a child, my father had a problem with alcohol, and he was alcoholic, and it basically was very aggressive at home, and he was out of his mind. He was totally out of his mind, and what my father had done to us, a person today should go in jail for that, because you cannot do that. But when I was 21, I forgive my father, and we became very good friends. Now, when I'm in Italy and I'm in Roma, if I want to have a weekend of laughing and fun, I call my father, and we are together for 2 days, and I laugh all the time. So all that bad moment which I had when I was a child, because that hard time which I had as a child put me in a position where I wasn't able to speak anymore. And my teacher, when I was 6 years old, when I started my first the elementary school in Italy, after 6 months, she sent a letter to my family saying, "Sorry, your son is is handicapped, he should go in a special school. So she believed I was handicapped. I had to go in a special school because I was unable to speak. My mother refused to sign the release to send me from a normal school to the special mental health school, because he said, my son is normal. He was able to speak before. He just had his own trauma, and then now something happened. But, at that time it was all culture. You don't really say things. No? You keep things in house, silent. So basically, if I remember me as a child, I only remember crying, sad things, and screaming and fighting, and this is. But I went over all of that, and actually, all of that helped me maybe to become who I am today, because I became very sensitive, because when you spend majority of your time crying or see your mother cry, then you become a very sensitive person, and in life, be sensitive help you actually. No, because you understand people, and then when I forgive my father, I give to myself the best gift I can do, because by forgiving my father and understand him and his life, and then I say I became a better person. I became a person which I feel I became a totally different person improvisely, when I realized that, I when I was 21, I was already, the father of my family, because everyone was already working some way for me, and so I was like the father. If they fight, they.
Andrea, did we lose you? Go ahead.
I don't know where you lost me. So I was saying, at the age of up to the age of 21, I was only able to go back at home only for 1 hour, 2 hours, maximum 3 for the Christmas dinner, because being at home for me was not healthy. So I was not able to be there. I was feeling sick every time. So I was 21. I go at home and I find my father and my brother, because I have a brother which as the opposite of me, he never left, and he stayed there. So he had only the education of my family. Me, I educated myself, let's say, in the street, by living life and meeting people. So I come back and I find my father and my brother, both of them like that, one next to each other, quiet. And I arrive and I say, "What's going on?" And my father say to me, "Andrea, say something to your brother." And I say, "Why? What's going on?" And he said, "Because your brother today punched me." And then I say to my brother, "You cannot do that. This is a very bad thing." But then I say to my father, "Don't be mad, forgive him, because he simply speaks your own language. I can speak in the way I do, because I learned to do that, but he's speaking your own language." So, and when I say that to my father, he started cry like a baby. So for the first time in my life, I see my father cry. I was not the one crying, and I went to hug him, and then I say, "Wow, this man is something which I didn't understand about him." So because that moment was the moment when made me understand I should forgive him, and I did it the moment. And then I started to analyze his life, and then I went back to his life, try to understand why he did that. And then I simply realized that his father was the same with him, and his father died when he was 13. When my father was 13, his father died. So the only education he got from 0 to 13 was the same one at what he was trying to give to us. So he believed in his mind that was the right way to do. But when he saw his son lost the speech for what he was doing, maybe then he realized that was actually a very bad thing to do.
But what's interesting, the how you broke the chain, Andrea. You broke that chain, and you brought all that sensitivity and forgiveness with you, and you made such an enormous success of yourself. And now your family is working together and learned so much because of you, because you went off on your own and you had the foresight to do that and create something, and now your family, you know, is whole. And I admire you for that. I just think that's extraordinary. And there's so much that you're doing. So thank you for sharing all this with us. You know, there's so much to talk about, but we really don't have any more time. We'd love to have you back. I mean, including, you know, how to take a company public. I know that you said, oh, that's very easy to me, but wow, not to most people. So we'd love to have you back to share
Absolutely.
how you
I will
do
be
that.
happy.
Unless you could very quickly say, this is how I did it, but or we can have you back for that one, because that's pretty amazing. All the knowledge that you have to share with our viewers.
Yeah, you know, to bring a company public there in 2 minutes will be hard to do to explain.
I think so.
But in the end, to bring a company public, you need to do that not as an exit from your company in your mind, but as a new moment of growth, because take a company public give you access to a lot of new things, visibility, financing, and relationship in another level. And so you need to see that as a new starting point of your life and of your company. It's a totally different world. When you are an entrepreneur by yourself, you can do whatever you want. The day after, whatever action you do, you have thousands of people looking at you and judging you every day for the good and the bad you do. And the reaction in the market is instantaneous. People buy, people sell. You do good things, the people buy. You do bad things, people sell. And then you do a shareholder meeting, and you have someone who say, "Why we did that movie with Johnny Depp?" And then you say, "What is your name?" And then you check, you have €6 worth of your stock. You know, but he can say something because he's a shareholder. Also you have an opinion, and you realize the opinion of everyone is important, and you learn how people see you, because people see you in a totally different way than what you see yourself. So it's an amazing opportunity of learning and growing. Now, to make a company public is the most difficult step, but to keep a company public in a successful way is much more difficult than that. And in the end, what investor does to give you the trust to make you public is only one thing. They need to believe in the vision, but mainly they need to believe in the team. So it's only how strong you work and how much passion you have. And then on the technical point of view, if you want, we can do another interview and they can explain technically how it works.
I would love that very much. We learned so much about you and your companies and all you're doing. Andrea Iervolino, Tata2, the app, also your film company, and your latest film that's going to be coming out. What's the name of the film, by the way?
The film which we are shooting now, or the one which is coming? Because we have a movie now coming out. We will do the premiere now in October, called Tell It Like a Woman, which maybe you will like the movie because speak about 6 different stories with 6 different women director, a women lead actress. And we have the #1 actress from Bollywood, the #1 female director from Hollywood, the #1 Japanese female actress, the #1 Japanese female director, the #1 Latin. So we have in all the country a #1 female representative for our industry as a director and as a lead actress, and then for the US segment we have Taraji Benson, and we have Jennifer Hudson, and then we have the director of Twilight, Catherine Hardwicke, and then we have so we have many amazing people. Now, sorry, I don't remember. So I remember all of them.
Extraordinary.
So it's a female, it's a women empowered movie with gender equality, which is a things which I support because I love my mom first, and then women in general. So and I think it's fair to be equal in life and to be treated now with equality. So I did that, and this is a movie which will premiere now in October. But then we have another premiere of another movie. So we do 5-6 movies every year, maybe 7 sometimes. Wow. So we have many of them.
All right. Well, we're going to keep in touch with you, and then we'll put some of that on our social media because there's so much that you're working on. Honestly, I could interview you for 2-3 hours and then some. So, gosh, thank you so much for talking to us. Any parting words, quickly?
Any?
Any
I didn't-
any parting words that you'd like to tell our audience before I let you go?
Any party was is just believe in yourself and be strong and work hard. That's it.
That's right. Be
Yeah,
strong.
yeah.
You got to be strong here and here. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us, Andrea. You're a delight. You really are. And I'd love to see that movie. I really would. If it's premiering here in Los Angeles,
Yeah.
please let us know, because
Yeah,
honestly, we'd love to attend. That's beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing about you, about your story, about your technology, your filmmaking, your childhood, your family. It was a beautiful interview. I really appreciated it. And thank you, everybody, for joining our podcast today. You can find us everywhere on YouTube, on Facebook, on IGTV, and on all audio platforms. Little Italy of Los Angeles podcast and Deborah Kobylt Live. So thanks for being here, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Grazie.